Hello and welcome, disc golf fans, to the Front Nine coverage of Round 2 of the 2021 Delaware Disc Golf Challenge, presented by Innova Champion Discs. Brian Earhart here, joined here again by Nathan Queen. And Iron Hill is proving to be exactly what it's been in the past, anyone's game, really. And we've been seeing some fantastic golf, but we have a fantastic chase card for you with some new faces and some new play styles that I'm really excited to jump into.
Lots of birdies yesterday with a chance for more today. These players have gotten their first look and ready to come out here on moving day and attack. We have Connor O'Reilly at 7 down, Colten Montgomery, Ricky Wysocki, and Lance Brown all at 6, and you see the leaderboard is tight.
Yeah, Bradley Williams shooting at 9 under par, but anyone can jump ahead of that in this second round. We have this Flight Factory drone fly over here. Hole number 1, 605 feet. Again, subtle bend to the right. It looks like a hard 90-degree turn, but it's a lot straighter than you think. Sidearms that righties want to throw here have to have a little flip to them to get to the right landing zone. Otherwise, a long backhand turnover is what you want.
All right, welcome to the 1204 card. This is the second card, or the chase card, if you must. From Austin, Texas, Connor O'Reilly.
And Connor is newer to the tour. I equate his play style in a way to a right-handed Chris Clemens. He has a phenomenal sidearm and a very solid backhand, but I would say this is his bread and butter, is a driver sidearm.
And he's got that slight stand-up that you were talking about. Pushes it straight enough to keep out of the right side of the woods, and he will have a straight look down towards the pin. Great job.
Montgomery.
And Colten really hung on yesterday and hit some beautiful long circle 2 putts to propel him to a 6 under par, and looking to continue that momentum today. Ooh, look at this.
From Campobello, South Carolina, Richard Wisocki.
And Ricky is no stranger to chase and lead cards at this tournament. He is usually one of the players that pops off the hottest round of the tournament at this event. Phenomenal scrambler. Oh yeah, look at this.
And he's got huge distance off the tee there, almost pushing that OB that's on the left side.
And Lance Brown, a sidearm specialist from the Carolinas, has some very unique lines that he chooses. Prodigy player. He has a little bit of everything. He has those steep hyzer stand-up forehands. He also has some nice flexes. Very interesting play style to watch.
And he's got a little too much hyzer on this. I think this is going to end up over on that right side. Stays kind of close to the edge. He may be able to work something to get to the green. Colten going with the backhand turnover. Not very aggressive here, which is the smart play.
Oh, and he's kicked out of bounds.
I was just about to say, with that backhand play, just barely touching one of those trees, and it will kick you into this, I'll just say, unfortunate OB area. I don't believe it should be there.
It is scattered in the middle of a pretty heavy wooded section. Connor going with a chip shot harp, I believe. And he's going to be inside circle 1 putting for a birdie. And yeah, Lance is the kind of player that's really going to search for a way to throw a sidearm. He does have a backhand. puts a lot of time into the backhand, but he is really proficient with this shot. So looks like he's stretching out to the right side. I don't even know if there is a right side.
He must have some type of gap over there for a hyzer forehand, stretching further into the woods. Not a play you see very often. This needs to miss those trees.
And he's found the out of bounds as well.
And that proceeds you straight to a drop zone that is about 75 feet or so for the downhill putt. Pretty tough to run.
Look at this drive from Ricky. Definitely the longest drive I have seen all week.
Yeah, very aggressive off the tee, and it pays off for him. He's got a pretty short circle one putt. And this will be that drop zone putt. Lance getting aggressive, and pays off for him. He still stays close.
And the woos begin.
Yeah, starting off right, hitting the birdie with his KC Whale.
Yeah, I like that switch. The feel of the whale is really nice in the hand. It has a little bit smaller bead than a KC.
It's a little deeper as well. It gets a little more glide to it.
And Connor also starts out with a nice birdie. You're going to be seeing a lot of those sidearms from him out there today.
Yeah, hole one playing right at par today, just slightly over. And you see why with a couple birdies and a couple bogeys here on Chase Card.
Hole number 2. Slow flipping hyzer. Rides all the way down this tight gap. Gets a little skip at the end. And here is your basket. Very enjoyable par 3 to play. And Connor's backhand is very proficient on the hyzer. This is the angle he likes to release on. I believe he's throwing a compass here, kind of a straight mid-range.
Yeah, with this backhand hyzer, if you get just a little bit of stand-up like Connor's done there, then it'll drift down that fairway. You've got those rocks to deal with where he landed at, but he does get the forward skip, and he'll be inside circle 1, 2 out of 2.
Ooh.
And Ricky's hit that same line.
Yes.
He's hit kind of a late guardian tree, but he's going to be at least circle 2. Looking at the basket that had a little bit too much fade on it.
And Colten going around that tree to the right side. I believe he caught a little bit of leaves that dropped him down early, and I was interested to see if Lance would go sidearm here. If you can get a slightly understable disc, that's a little too turned over, but if you can just kind of flip one up and have it drift off to the left, it's a pretty good line to hit if you feel more comfortable with that left to right movement.
Here's a long bid from about 80, 90 feet. And just dips off left. I like the sweatband. It's been real muggy out here. And he's going to be just short.
And we heard a little applause in the background there. I wonder if that could have had something to do with a little miscue there.
A little wobbly and low on that one.
Lance up and down for his par.
Yeah, unless you're hitting really, really early on this hole, it's pretty easy to get up and down for a 3.
To compete on a high level, you need a disc that you can reach for and you know exactly the outcome before you've even thrown the shot. The Thunderbird has the control of a fairway driver, yet it performs like a high-speed distance driver. Why the Thunderbird? Distance, control, versatility, trust. That's the Thunderbird.
That brings us to hole 3, one of the more open holes on the course, but you still have a gap to hit off of the tee. With the righty backhand, if you can get a hyzer stand-up to straight shot that doesn't really fade at all, or the righty forehand, you really have to make sure that you push it out and turn it over to the left, otherwise you could fade early into the trees.
Yeah, and with this being such a low ceiling shot, it's hard to pull it off. And I was thinking Connor was maybe going to go with the sidearm flex that he likes to throw, but maybe with a little bit of uphill was maybe getting in his head. Here's a backhand.
Get low.
And he's caught some of that low ceiling you were talking about. He's going to be short left. It's looking like a roller play from Ricky here.
I love this play. I really haven't seen a lot of the rollers, but I think it shapes up perfectly for it. He says stand up quickly. It's going to, but it's going to get that sideways stand up.
Oh, and it stands up
No
just
way,
in
look
time.
at that.
He is going to be dead center fairway and have a pretty easy pitch up.
And we're going to do a quick form check here. Again, I love showcasing the rollers to showcase how much he leans back and gets the elbow off of his body. That's the ticket to throwing those big laid down rollers right away with a stable disc, because that probably wasn't a flippy driver that he was throwing on that roller.
And Colten has turned it over into the right side, and it's pretty thick over there. It's usually just a pitch out, and hopefully you can get in a good spot. Lance
Oh, yeah.
going with the sidearm, and he does get that left drift on it before it hyzers back.
Look at that. And honestly, let's jump back to one more form check here, because Lance Brown's sidearm is gross. I love how he lets that back knee kind of collapse as he's throwing, driving his weight forward. Lance is one of those forehand players that a couple times around, he throws something that you've really never seen before. It's pretty impressive. Okay. Sneaks through quite a bit of that canopy, and he's going to be potentially putting for a birdie from circle 2. And you see how tucked back Colten is here.
Oh, he's gotten far enough in there. There is a gap if you get about 30 feet in. And he went far enough into the woods to
What a
be able
shot.
to have that gap. And he is just outside of circle 1 now for a birdie look. And that creek on the left side being in Lance's head there kind of saws that off, or not really saws it off, but just doesn't quite give it the pop that he needs to go flat for a little bit. Ricky correcting on that, telling it to sit down. Gets a little unfortunate roll, but good touch from him there. He'll be pretty close for his birdie putt. And Colten for a pretty fortunate birdie if he can get it, and just a bit high. That's a very confident bid. You can see right behind it that disc would have just been gone.
Ooh, a little bit high for Rick, but grabs himself another birdie. 2 for 3.
And Connor to save the par here.
Oh. And misses from the creek, and he's just going to try to forget about that one and move on.
Yeah, that's a couple cage hits in a row.
And, you know, sometimes that early timid, that timid feeling in the body, could give you some fire to move forward in the round, so we'll see.
Here we all are at hole 4, 675 feet, the most open hole that we have on the course for the tee shot. You really want to push left of this tree that the drone just passed. And with the righty backhand, either have it flattening out and pushing towards this gap, or I believe the forehand is kind of the best play for placement on this hole, where you can skip into the correct landing zone.
And I think to get away from that OB on the right, we're going to see a lot of this. And if this flattens, it's going to be great. Still gets a bit of a slide forward, and that's a great positioning for Ricky.
Yeah, for as fast as that got there, that really got really far down the fairway.
That's tracking right towards the OB that needs to hit and slow down.
Those branches tried to help him out, but just not quite enough. He's found that OB over on the right side, and that does go to a drop zone as well. And Lance hasn't turned this up enough either. If this gets any type of flare.
Oh, and he goes out of bounds as well. That was a coin toss, too. That had 50-50 shot at sticking, but it caught edge and rolled all the way down the hill. Here's Connor's sidearm. Oh, no. Same miss.
Yeah, this one has a little sharper angle. He has curled up just short of the OB over there, and that's a pretty good spot. It leaves you with a pretty good angle down this small gap.
Drop zone shot for Colten. That's his third.
Perfect.
And Lance also from the drop zone. Little turnover forehand. Look at this shot. Similar positioning to Colten's 25 long.
Yeah, both good recovery shots from there, giving themselves a chance to save the par.
A little bit of a wacky reaction off that rock, but he's still only kicked to about 20 feet. Connor is going to have the bounce back opportunity he wanted.
Ricky a little pinched off on that left side, but looks like he's got a pig turned over right down the gap, and he actually did go a little long. He'll be just outside of circle 1 here. And a little short, not something we see from Ricky too often.
Great save from Colten. Kind of a slow start for him.
And Connor able to get that putt up above that cage. Get a nice bounce back birdie here. Get him back under par for the round.
Okay.
2 good saves from the drop zone there. You know Ricky wanted that birdie.
Plenty of golf left. Moving into number 5.
Disc golf was a sport that nobody knew about when I first started playing. I had to explain it to my parents, my family.
When I first started, I grew up in Ohio playing disc golf and just playing locally.
It was, you know, not as big of a deal. There was never a gallery. There was never video coverage. I've been touring for the last decade and seen this early point in development now to this crazy growth.
Parents can want their kids to play disc golf because there's a future there, there's money, there's professionalism.
I just imagine it just getting bigger and better, and I'm excited to be part of it.
Hole number 5, 780-foot par 5. Again, placement off the tee is crucial just to position yourself in a spot where you can shoot down this second corridor. An eagle is on the table if you get aggressive off the tee with some sort of giant flex sidearm, but a 4 on this is just fine. Just stay in the middle. And Connor's going with a fairway driver. He's going with Explorer here. Little hyzer flip.
4.
Good dodge.
And he's just a little bit on the right side. There may be a good avenue for him to get some good distance on his next shot still, though.
Fading a bit too far to the left. But honestly, Ricky might be able to step out and throw a flex sidearm from there. Oh, I like this one. Oh, no, I niced him.
And that's still...
That looked so good.
That could still be in a better position to get further down the fairway than where the other two are, even though he is shorter. Being on the fairway is really paramount on this hole.
And a Lance Brown backhand. Hits a bit early, but still kicks him out.
And just catches that last tree on the corner, and he travels pretty far into the woods on the left side. We'll have to see how he can scramble from there. Lance going back to the forehand and uses the fairway well. Gets that left to right movement all the way up, and he'll be in the middle of the fairway with a chance to attack the green for a birdie.
Okay. It's going to give him an opportunity to throw a sidearm, and here's Ricky. Oh, tight gap. Hits it with angle.
Wow.
Flawless execution there.
Incredible standstill forehand. Touch through the gap, but still has enough power to clear 350 feet easily.
Wow. He is right there putting for a birdie from about circle's edge. It's a little high, but Definitely had the distance. Here's Colten.
He just catches that group of trees in the middle, which is really what makes this upshot the most difficult. And look at the stand-up touch on that shot.
Those are the lines that I'm talking about, Nathan. People don't do that normally during a chase card round. I love that. That was a flippy disc he just threw.
And Ricky with the eagle look. He's still probably 90, 100 feet from here, but we all know he's got that.
Especially when he switches to this spin release. Oh, come on.
Oh, just a bit high. What a line.
So Connor's here putting for a birdie. Scrambled his way down this fairway. Wow.
Super clean. Keeping that correction made. Able to get 2 in a row here. And a great birdie after being off the fairway.
Lance also gets up and down for the birdie after a gorgeous shot into the green. Little flick, pop, fade away. Love it.
And Ricky with just a tap in after catching some metal for the eagle look.
And hole number 6. Nathan, what are you thinking about this tee shot?
Another hyzer stand up for the righty backhand here. If you can, like I said, throw that hyzer stand up to the right side of that first tree you saw in the fairway and just let it softly fade. If you get too much of a skip, you'll get blocked on the left side. Pretty touchy shot here.
Yeah, I also think controlling height on this drive really matters. Like this line that Connor just threw is near perfect.
And like you said, the height, he kept that low enough where once it hit the ground, it didn't catch that flare off to the left side with the ground play sloping down right to left as well.
Yeah, you want to hit on that flare angle as you're moving forward rather than fading left. And if you are going to throw higher, the disc better have some late flip like this one. Yeah, Ricky's throwing this gorgeous.
Yeah, that looks to be a rock, I believe, out of his hand and just gets up right to a great spot.
Okay, Lance going. I was thinking he was going to go with a flip up turnover. But Lance went with the backhand. It's a little inside. There are lanes off from there, but it's not easy.
They're all very small and pretty easy to miss.
Yeah,
since
like
they
3
are
to
so
5
small.
feet wide off to the left side. So we'll see what he has from there. And Colten, very good at this type of shot. Oh, yeah. It's kind of destabilizing.
Could have that kind of flare off to the left. I think he's still going to have a pretty good forehand spot from there, though.
Yeah, I want to take a nice quick look at Colten's throw. Oh, it's so authentic. There's not any other player on tour that throws the way that he does. It generates so much power.
Not too bad from Lance there. Higher would have gotten him a little further up, but he is in a good spot to get his par.
Get in. Get in.
Oh, yeah.
Great shot from Ricky there. Just a little standstill forehand hyzer.
Oh, yeah, Connor in a great position.
Yeah, he can put a little less hyzer on this and land it a little softer if he wants to.
Either way, he is parked for birdie. He's starting to heat up. That's going to be his third birdie in a row.
Yeah, and Colten has stayed far enough right to have the little touch forehand here. He's gotten way up the fairway. And
No.
oh, he catches those guardian rocks in front of the green that make you keep your disc high enough, and that will give him a much more difficult circle 2 putt now.
And we're going to jump back to the previous round. This is what Colten did in our round 1 coverage. Very similar drive. His approach is also very similar on this second shot. Gets the same roll. And he didn't capitalize from circle 2. Let's take a look and see if he's going to repeat from round 1. Makes the correction. And that is what propelled him to a 6-under or putts like that yesterday.
Yeah, I'm sure that probably was in his mind whenever he hit that rock. He was like, man, I got that roll away yesterday.
Yeah, and he came back and grabbed himself a birdie.
Yeah, that'll get him that bounce back stat. He'll be looking to get one more birdie, get back to even so he can start his birdie run to get under par for this round. Rick already on the under par train, getting another birdie here on hole 6. Connor able to tap in as well.
Yeah, Connor with the turkey. Gets the bounce back and then 2 more birdies.
Bringing us to hole 7, 370 foot, downhill, straight shot with a little bit of right movement at the end. Ideally, just try to throw straight and see if you can get a circle 1 look.
The more I've played this hole, the more I realize that the purest line will get you to about 30 feet left of the basket. I feel like,
Whoa!
no way!
And Connor throws a good flex line, which I actually saw today as well, rather than a straight shot. Catches a late tree that almost kicks him in the basket there.
That's going to be 4 in a row for Connor O'Reilly. That sidearm is putting in work today. Ooh, and Ricky flexes one outside of that guardian tree. Wow. Almost puts it closer than Connor.
Yeah, pretty much matches it. 2 great shots to be that close on this hole, regardless of the ground play late.
Colten misses left. And I'm not quite sure where he kicked out to. That left side, if you are in the rough, it is not pretty. And Lance's drive has fought through quite a bit. He's going to be putting for birdie as well, but a little bit longer than those other 2 sitting by the basket.
And a good up there from Colten. That'll leave him about 26, 27 feet for his par save. Lance with a chance for the circle 2.
He gave it a bid. Definitely gave it full effort there. But he's now 25 feet. Great putt.
Yeah, we're going to have the par cleanup putts here before we have the birdie putts. That's something you could see on a lot of holes, but it's not one you would expect on hole 7.
Yeah, 2 picture-perfect flicks. It has so many little secondary gaps down the fairway that it just makes getting this close very difficult. And Ricky and Connor are going to clean up. Ricky grabs his 3rd in a row, and Connor is gaining some momentum here. 4 in a row. The putt's feeling good. And we have hole number 8. A very tricky, technical 780-foot par 4. Eagle is in play if you throw a big flex sidearm up the hill. Some backhands, if you have a flippy enough disc, can get up there and push down this bottleneck. But it's really just positioning yourself right about here on your second if you want to just have a straight look for the birdie. But it's a lot of scrambling, no matter what.
Yeah, like you said, if you don't get at least to the top of that hill off of the tee, then it's going to be a bit more difficult to get your birdie. But if you can get to the top of the hill and push a little forward, then you have an eagle chance.
Oh, and Connor's pushed this one off to the left, but it's gotten up a little ways. He might have an opportunity to bend one through the bottleneck there. Ricky opting for the backhand. Oh, he flipped it.
And he still gets good distance up the hill, though. So even though he's off to the right side, even if he just pitches out sideways, he still is going to have a pretty good chance to get, to get his birdie.
Oh, look at this flippy disc.
Flip dog.
That's one of the best shots I've ever seen in the hole.
Let's see an eagle, Colten. Come on.
Wow. Yeah, he's going to have a look. The tricky part now is he's in the middle of that bottleneck with rocks all over the fairway. So if he has a clean 5-foot section, he might have a look. Lance bending his a bit too far left, but kicking back right.
He'll be in the middle of the fairway, most likely with a standstill, like you were talking about with all those rocks. It's the second time we've seen Connor straddling a down tree in the woods this round so far.
Yeah, I mean, and that was a nasty kick on his drive. It really wasn't that terrible of a shot. Ooh, and just pops it with some tough footing.
Yeah, good gap hit there
Nice
to get
shot.
up the fairway. And he's got 100 or 90 feet in.
He's really good at just isolating his wrists. He could have his feet facing backwards and still somehow manage a forehand. And Ricky going aggressive. But that will be a look for a birdie. Oh, give us the flex backhand.
Opting for the smart play here, just kind of pitching up around the corner. He'll have that fairly easy corridor to throw down to get his birdie.
And that stays on Anheuser. Wow, that actually carried a long ways into the rough, so he's going to be able to pitch something up there for a par at least. And I did not think Ricky kicked over here. He must have really been trying to scramble forward.
And he's still scrambled pretty far forward to not use the fairway at all on this hole. He's got a circle 2 look for birdie.
I'm sure his UDisc scorer is a little perplexed. Off the fairway, off the fairway, off the fairway, birdie look.
And Lance catching that one little tree right in front of the green. This is a pretty elevated basket. Right up against the base is a pretty good spot to be. It's at that height that's not too high that you feel super uncomfortable with your tap in, but as soon as you get out to about 20 feet, you start getting, your knees might get a little shaky putting up like that.
Connor just going to pitch up, and he's also going to have a nice, easy look for a par. Ricky can get a birdie here.
Get it.
Definitely gives it a run. A little bit of a nose-up stall putt.
Yeah, and a good par from Connor, also never really being on the fairway, able to scramble on up there. Good birdie putt from Lance. That puts him 1 under for the round.
And Ricky missing the fairway the whole way down, and he'll also take a par.
And this will be for Colten's birdie to get him back to par for the round. Fighting strong, trying to hold together on this as it gets a little tougher going into the back.
Oh, yeah. And we have hole 9, which is a little bit easier par 4, but a tight gap, 15-foot gap, maybe even less than that. You have to hit and then bend right around the corner. And again, you're rarely going to have a wide open look at the basket. You're going to have to throw some sort of scramble shot. But some of these forehands have been getting up there a ways. Oh, he rolled his wrist again, same as yesterday.
And depending on how trapped he is with those trees, you can still reach the basket from there, being only 555 feet. And an overcorrection from Colten's. He's hit that right side. He cannot really reach the basket from there, I believe, unless he pulls off something incredible.
Ooh, he's also done the same thing as Colten, but stops in a great position. He's going to have a long shot to the basket. I'm guessing a very similar shot to what he just threw off the tee. And Ricky, of all people, going with the backhand turnover.
Yeah, there's a super aggressive play here. If you can hug that left side with the backhand turnover, Ricky could reach this green.
Yeah, I've seen Paul Uleberry go for it pretty frequently with a nuke, and it's possible. It definitely is possible.
And I'll go ahead and shout out Corey Ellis for doing that and getting the 2 on hole 9 today.
Yikes.
Great stuff, man.
If I were to pick who got it, he would have been one of the people I would have guessed. Oh, boy.
Lance playing a little sideways here.
That was some brutal anti-tree love, tree hate. that was rough.
That was the leaf hate there.
Leaf hate.
Yeah, good shot, dude.
And Colten flexing one up there.
Oh, boy. Lance looking up.
In scramble mode. Catches something up high. Will most likely still be in scramble mode.
Okay, so Connor chooses backhand, and he's flipped something nicely.
Oh, that
Look at
looks
this line.
fantastic. Go in.
Oh, Connor.
So much touch right there. He put the height on it to make sure he carries all the way down the fairway. Beautiful stand-up shot.
Yeah, the only way he would have been able to make that shot work is if he released it with a pretty significant hyzer just from where he was at. So to get it to ride forward after this is really solid.
Colten with a really long look here. He was making, maybe not quite this far, but he was making some good putts like this yesterday.
Wow! He just has that break point just dialed in. He's putting the disc out with a little nose up. It's hitting that spot and fading perfectly into the basket.
What an incredible birdie.
He's been rolling on those.
Getting him to 1 under par for the front 9. Good bounce back after a slow start.
Lance giving it a bid after kind of a rough go this hole. And this is Connor for a great birdie. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
He's putting together a solid round so far. He missed hole 8. Other than that, he's had, I believe, 6 birdies in the front 9.
Yeah, 6 birdies and just that 1 bogey on 3. Five down seems to be the number to hit on this front 9 to get your hot rounds going. Ricky with the unfortunate bogey there to finish his front 9. And Lance for his double bogey after scrambling through the woods a little bit.
And it's in.
Again, we see a lot of birdies here on this front 9. A little more trouble with the bogeys this time. But we'll be looking to clean it up on the back.
Yeah, Connor O'Reilly leading the card with a 5 under par. Ricky right behind him. And as you see, Connor is up top right now.
Yeah, chase card, 3rd card, 4th card, all making moves right now. Got this back 9 to keep it going.
Thank you again for tuning in, everybody. Make sure to subscribe to Gatekeeper Media on YouTube. We will have the back 9 coverage up soon. Again, I'm Brian Earhart. He is Nathan Queen, and we are signing off.
We'll see you guys out there.